Art of unemployment.
I'm 34.
34? Okay, what do you do?
I am a risk taker.
Imagine that's your response when somebody says, what's your job? I'm a risk taker. Like what? You day trade? You gamble? What do you mean you're a risk taker?
I'm a road runner.
Unemployment.
Road runner.
It's no longer just about not having a job. It's a way of living. Maximizing on productivity and really just enjoying life. We live in a generation where unemployment is really the final goal. Okay, nobody wants to work a 9 to 5 no more. Which, you know, will probably...
Well, I mean, I don't think anybody really wanted to work a 9 to 5, even historically, when like the white picket fence, green grass, American dream was a thing. You wanted a job, but the end goal forever has been like retirement. Maybe working in an area or field that you want to, but still, nobody really wants to work.
Probably have some repercussions in the future. Because what happens if you need to go get your car fixed and the best you're gonna get is a sports bettor or a damn Twitch streamer? Me personally, I'm escaping the matrix. Day trading, crypto, fucking NFTs, all of that. But
Bro, the whole day trading thing though, I have friends that'll like send me their like day trading profits, and I'm like, bro, this ain't getting you out of the trenches, dog. This will send me like he's like, I'm up 6% today. I made $12. Like, I mean, maybe this is like starting somewhere. I'm like, this is not a long-term thing that you're going to be able to do. Like, you need investment money for that. Day trading's also just sketchy as shit.
with the amount of gambling videos I've seen, I've got genuine worry for this generation, bro. The sheer amount of debt that's gonna be built up just because of this image.
No, but that's actually not true because young people gamble less than ever before. Young people sports bet more, but young people don't go. Gen Zers go to the casino less, more than I think any other generation.
I'll see y'all at the annuals.
Most Gen Zers that are like, you know, gambling money, it's sports betting in like CSGO cases. Speaking of, Brady literally, before I go live, ats me and goes, bang, look at this. And I'm like, dude, I know nothing about CSGO. Brady sends me a picture of a knife he fucking got. I'm like, dude, I don't know what the hell that means. I'm like, I have no idea how much money that is, how useful that is. Is that a good, cool knife? What's the quality?
Squid Games, bro. Okay, now I mentioned being unemployed is going beyond the job status because I think it's more about how you spend those jobless hours. Because you could be unemployed and, you know, still be locked in, day trading, crypto, all of that. Or you could be playing around with Saratoga bottles and damn bananas because you saw a funny internet meme. Now, before you think I'm judging you, which I am,
I think the biggest problem today is people are so locked in on get rich quick, you know, methods, especially because of social media and people like panning them to others and like finance advice discords and all this other. People that are in Gen Z want a method to like get money and get money fast before it gets too big that it doesn't work anymore. One of the things that comes to mind is drop shipping. The guys that got in early on drop shipping made an ass load of money. People that were drop shipping were making hundreds of thousands of dollars a month for like the first year that shit was hype. And now drop shipping's so known that it's not really like a method anymore. And there's like things that kind of fall and then, you know, hype up, fall. NFTs, meme coins. But you got to keep in mind, most of the people that even get in when it's like not hype yet are losing money. But that's what people look forward to now, because if you are one of those like lucky few, you get rich fast. But the problem is that the odds of that are extremely unlikely. And then the people that fail now have no, you know, movement to actually get a job. And so now they're just unemployed and they're rug pulling, they're attempting to rug pull meme coins.
Corny, my boy. You lame.
I gotta admit that we all be demonstrating unemployed behavior. I mean, you might be a little too tapped in with the John Pork and Tim Cheese law.
When I work at a normal ass job, no, I agree with that. Like, and this is coming from somebody that does Twitch streaming. I'm not going to sit here and be like, yeah, you need a lock into a 9 to 5 for the next 45 years before you could retire with a 401k. Nobody wants to do that. The problem is, like, it's not, I don't think it's as simple as 9 to 5 or get rich quick. I think there are like other middle grounds that people can choose to do, or specific side hustles and things that people get in. I just think banking all of your time and assets that you currently have at a young age, not financial advice, to trying to make it big in the crypto space is so risky that it could fail miserably.
or really any other niche internet meme.
Tung 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 sahur.
And we call this kind of behavior being unemployed because they just have way too much free time. And all this time they spend gallivanting around, you have to think they surely have some time to make some money. But who am I to judge you? Go enjoy your life. There's always time to escape the matrix later. But you should know better than anyone if you're just out here devouring your minutes. For example, if you're finding time in your day to prepare and eat coleslaw. We need a couple of...
What? What? Why is that the example of choice here? If you're spending your free time, you're unemployed if you spend your free time making homemade coleslaw. I mean, yeah, that's a waste of time, but...
of y'all to start taking one for the team. We can't all be Twitch streamers and barbers, okay? Someone has to work them oil rigs. And what's 3 barbers on each street gonna do for me, okay? I need a house to be built, not a low... But maybe we'd have more employed people if the process of getting a job wasn't such a damn grueling process. I'm gonna show you some shit that might be a jump scare for some of y'all. You ready?
Well, LinkedIn pages.
Ooh, job application. The whole process of getting a job, you gotta make some fuck-ass resume. And if you don't have any experience, that shit's just gonna look like...
Well, and you have to make some stupid resume. You apply to a million jobs to get an interview at a few, get denied by most, you finally bank a job, and your end goal isn't even staying with that job because raises are actually worse than job hopping, because job hopping statistically gives better raises than raises in wage pay than actually staying and getting natural raises. So you're basically spending endless hours to land a job that you plan on holding for like a year tops, and then switching jobs to a place that's going to hire you for more money because now you have job experience from the previous place. But that's what you got to do. I mean, like, I have a friend that is a coder. Like, he makes pretty good money, made pretty good money out of college doing coding. He's held 4 different jobs in 3 years. Not because he got fired, but because you hold that job, you start working, and then somebody comes out of the blue and goes, hey, we'll hire you for more money. And now you go, well, bye. And then you leave and do the same thing. So it's just always, people are constantly in training, and it's just terrible.
And can someone tell me why entry-level jobs be asking for experience?
Dude, you are the experience.
The damn job paradox. How am I meant to get experience if I need experience to get experience? And after making your resume, you have to go on like Indeed or something and just look for a job that doesn't look like modern day slavery.
I'm unemployed right now, but I'm about to work at this job.
Well, and the worst thing is low-level jobs are wanting experience, but those are also the jobs that have the worst churn rate. They lose people constantly for quitting, like Amazon. Amazon hires, fires, and has quitters every day. If you work at an Amazon warehouse, you're not gonna like get to know your coworkers. Some of them you might, but the odds are either you're quitting the job in 3 months or they're quitting the job in 3 months. Like, they don't plan on keeping you. You're probably gonna work it, you're gonna get fed up and quit one day, or they're gonna fire your ass because they change the rules constantly. Like, I watched this one YouTuber, Atrioc, who has a mod / like other streamer friend that works at Amazon, and he'll do like in-depth stories about how he hates working there, and he'll talk about how Amazon will change the rules for truck drivers like every week, given on specific scenarios they get in, where 1 week they had a rule that Amazon truck drivers in their area, in their department, at their facility, were not allowed to reverse unless it was an emergency. How are you supposed to deliver packages in a car without the ability to reverse your vehicle? And so they would have to call their supervisor and go, hey, I'm in a driveway, I need to back up. And they'd go, okay, you got to check your surroundings, blah, blah, blah. Like, no shit. Check your surroundings. Why are we treating them like they're toddlers?
Factory down the street, $6 an hour, full time.
$6 an hour.
And after shooting like 400 applications,
what state has the worst minimum wage? Obviously, minimum wage also coincides with like price of living. New Jersey, California, highly populated areas are going to have very high minimum wages. Like, I think New Jersey's is like 15 something, 15.49. So it's high, but like the cost of living in New Jersey is very high. What state has the lowest minimum wage? I mean, there's probably states that follow the federal minimum wage. This can't be real. Georgia, $5.15. That's not allowed. Isn't the federal minimum wage like $7? You can't go below that. $7.25. That's not real. It says Georgia, $5.15. There's no way. Well, I'm going to Google what is Georgia's minimum wage. $7.25. Why does it say $5.15? That's a wrong website. So there's a lot of states that just default to the federal minimum, $7.25. That's so... Oh my God. If you have to work a minimum wage job in a state that has federal minimum wage, you could work an 8-hour shift and not have enough money pre-tax or post-tax to buy the new COD. You would work 8 hours, and how much money are you making? You're making like less than what, $64? You're making like 50 something, 56 bucks. That's so ass.
You settle for one interview, you got a McDonald's. And now the interview has to be the worst part, because you got to pull up in a suit and tie to an old block McDonald's.
Not eggs. Well, the price of eggs is something that people always use the price of eggs and milk to determine how the economy's going. I think that also varies on a lot of different factors to me personally, because yes, I buy milk and eggs, but I also am more in tune with steam prices. I don't buy eggs anymore, like ever. I buy egg whites, so I don't know the price of eggs. And I buy almond milk, so I don't know the price of dairy. Why? Because I don't want to drink milk, and I don't like the cholesterol in eggs. So I like egg whites because they don't have cholesterol. You're a weirdo? Bro, that's not abnormal for me to just want egg whites.
Like a stand-up guy and try not to say some dumb
I just graduated from home last year ago with my degree in walking fish with a minor in water in the snow because I mop air. I'm also a dentist that fixes feet at the vet when I'm wide asleep. So I think this job would be pretty good for my mom since she doesn't have kids.
And what I hate about interviews, bro, is that dumb question they always be asking.
Why do you want to work here?
Yeah, because it's always been my lifelong dream to work in your rundown McDonald's. No.
I can't eat. I'm broke. I'm broke.
And then you gotta lie and be like, I've always just really liked the fast food business. I've always wanted to get into the, art of flipping burgers and taking people's orders that, are really drunk or high at 3 a.m. and, possibly getting a DUI after they hit up this McDonald's.
Okay, I just seen some and it looks like it's not that hard to get a job anymore. Now hiring someone that doesn't goon during work.
All right, I never worked at a fast food place. So for the people that work or have worked at a fast food place, what is the best and worst position? I feel like I'd want to be flipping burgers. I feel like I'd rather be a chef than somebody that works at a drive-thru. Yeah, I'd rather be like I'd rather be like a cook, a cashier. Taking orders sounds worse than cooking. I feel like taking orders, it also goes by slower because when I watch those live streams of mother cooking at Wendy's and you know how people live stream it and they'll put a camera on their head and I'm like watching them package orders? I feel like that's like they get in a groove, They got Wu Wei going on. They're at peace, just fucking another one. I like just fuck it, and then the time flies by quicker.
Work hours. Who the fuck did they have hired before this?
The ghost of the goon. The ghost of the goon. Look at the car.
But if you have to or want to go through that whole process, yeah, good luck, gang. But one thing I want to say is please, and I really stress, please don't be that that thinks having a job makes them better or something. Bro, these archetypes who constantly complain about their jobs, yet be the first ones to tell you to go get
Well, no, it'll be like, it'll be, I have like union friends. It'll be the union friends. It's like the stereotype where you'll be like, yeah, I had a long work day, worked 40 hours this week. And they'll be like, 40 hours? I remember when I was a little boy, I worked 40 hours. I worked 65. You be working a 9 to 5. I've been working a 5 to 5, bitch. 6 days a week. 6 days a week. I only get off on federal holidays. I pick up extra hours. Sometimes they'll call me in at 3 in the morning. You see these hands? You see these hands? Real man hands.
a job when you're demonstrating some
Could I get a Miller Lite?
unemployed behavior.
Could I get a Miller Lite?
You hating on happiness, bro. You hating ass niggas look like Squidward. You see, I've worked 2 jobs in my life. The first one, I worked as an underwater ceramics technician.
a dishwasher. I applied to be a dishwasher at Arby's, McDonald's, Boston Market. None of them wanted to hire my ass. And I remember reading the job interviews and they were asking for experience. And I was like, bro, why do I need experience to work at I know how to wash dishes.
And the way I still have literal night.
Not a dishwasher at McDonald's. It was at, it was Wendy's. Was it Wendy's? No, it was Arby's, Boston Market, and some other fast food place.
Bears about that job. I want reparations for each of those shifts I worked.
I'm not even gonna lie. When I was applying for jobs, I wasn't even looking at the place of work. I remember applying to every job that I could, just spamming them out, copy and pasting, just being like, submit, submit, just like waiting for a response. And then none of them replied. And then I walked into a GNC and asked for a job. They gave me in.
All of the stress that has accumulated. Years, I'm telling you, years have been taken off my life from those dreams. I don't work there anymore, and I still dream about it.
more do you want from me?
And in the periods that I've been unemployed, I just feel like I took advantage of it. You gotta cherish every single one of those moments, man, because I promise you, sooner or later, we'll all be gone. Just knowing you have to get.
GNC said yes because of your body. Yo, in part, probably. They're not allowed to discriminate in that sense, but who the f is going to buy supplements from somebody that looks out of shape? GNC's a supplement store. People go there to get in shape. They go there when they need multivitamins and protein and shit for working out. They're not going to hire somebody that looks, you know, like they don't work out.
Get up for a shift or you have a shift later in the day. It can kill the vibe of the whole day, I promise you. You can just be chilling. And the realization hits. But you know, somebody telling you to get a job, they might just be looking out for you. Okay, don't start sending images like this. Bro, you just lazy.
Well, I think there's a difference between people that are unemployed and actively searching for work versus somebody that's unemployed by choice. There's groups of people that just don't get jobs and live at their parents, but never search for jobs and just like kind of chill. And then there's people that are actively, you know, searching. I think there's a difference. It's the level of motivation. There's nothing wrong with being unemployed, but like look for a job.
And to all the unemployed out there, is the Minecraft movie really that funny? Yeah, he said chicken jockey in a funny way, but does it ever warrant this reaction?
Well, these are high schoolers, dude.
Gangy, is that a live chicken? Man, we were supposed to have flying cars by now. The unemployed have just had a field day with this damn movie, bro. And not to be the fun police or nothing, but imagine working at one of these cinemas and having to clean this up.
What do you think the average age is that somebody gets a job in the U.S.? I would guess like 17. Yes, the average person gets their first part-time job between 16 and 19. That varies by state, though, off of also how old you are allowed to be employed. Because some states you can have a job when you're like 14, and some you have to be like 16 or 17.
Yo, we gotta look out for all of the people that are stuck in the infinite job cycle. I promise you they don't wish for that life. So don't be the guy that chucks 3 buckets of popcorn and mysterious liquids all over the floor. Just for, you know, a little giggle.
How did he sneak a chicken into the Minecraft movie? Like an alive chicken.
You gotta look out for each other, man. The employed gotta look after the unemployed.
Under his shirt? That would be so obvious.
The unemployed gotta look after the employed. If we fail to do this, society will collapse as we know it. So what are you gonna do? You're gonna sit there as you watch society fall? No, you're gonna get up. You're gonna stand up and you're gonna fight for what you believe in. But do you really get what I'm trying to say though? We need the employed, but I don't want to be employed, so I'm gonna make it easier for them. The minority you just paid to deliver pizza to your address during a hurricane. Tip them a little bit. Instead of telling the person that's making your food to just put the fries in the bag.
Yeah, dude. I am always somebody that says you have to tip your servers. And I'm also coming from a place, you know, where I make money and I'm able to do that. But at the same time, if you're going to pay a motherfucker to go, not even like waitressing. I understand waitressing. You should still pay your waiter or waitress. That's like up. I've always said, you know, 20% in the United States, you should tip. But if you're paying a motherfucker to drive 35 minutes to a place, pick up your food, bring it to your place, your apartment, your house, drop it off, and you hit him with a fat zero, and you're giving him basically $3 for a delivery fee, that don't even cover the gas that this motherfucker had to use to sometimes drive to and from your house. Or not to and from your house, to and to the fast food place and then to your house, and then to the next order. Like, that's just like asshole shit.
How about you give him some nice words? The employed.
Yeah, and motherfucker said it's their job. Yeah, it's their job, but like they're doing it because they want money. Like most of the time, bro, those people that are door dashing have a 9 to 5 and you're ordering shit to their house or to your house at 2 a.m. and this is their side hustle. They're working extra hours to try and make more money for themselves or their family. And you're just like, yeah, I'm gonna hit you with $3, bro.
The unemployed, united. But it's time to admit it. Being unemployed is not all sunshine and rainbows. Yes, I don't have the responsibility.
Why work if you won't get paid? It's a thing in the U.S. that, you know, you're going to get like, what, $4.20 an hour minimum wage for waitressing unless you don't get that much in tips, in which case they're required to pay you minimum wage. But they should make more than minimum wage, which is why you should tip. The argument that you shouldn't tip people because then if you don't tip, they're just going to make minimum wage is stupid, because now you're just forcing them to basically wait on people for whatever their state's minimum wage is. And to go like, okay, yeah, why work that job? Because they're doing it because there are people that do tip. If everybody didn't tip, like the people that say, well, I don't feel the need to, then no one would ever want to deliver your ass food. And then you wouldn't be able to get your Domino's at 3 a.m.
Ability of a job, but
I am so lonely.
Me aside,
Risky as hell, dude. He has just hit his feet on that metal bar.
me aside, don't trick yourself into believing you're not a fucking loser, okay? Because Googling top 5 side hustles to get rich quick is not being locked in. You know what? Let me stop being a hater. Because look, what you're doing is really smart, but it's also really dangerous because you're convincing yourself that you're not a loser, when in reality, yeah, you are. Alright, real quick, let me bring back this guy from the intro.
Well, I was going to say, too, one of the things that my friend does that I thought was originally stupid, but then looking back at it, I thought it was smart. He's getting a sports management degree, and he was applying for, like, accounting jobs. And they would give him interviews, and he would go to them. And I was like, you're never going to work here. He was like, yeah, but I don't care. I just need experience. And I said, for what? And he was like, just interviewing. He went to like 5 interviews for jobs he knows he didn't want just to fucking do them. Just to see the job interview and then get good at it for an actual interview. And, you know, on the off chance that he somehow got hired at a place, he said he would, you know, contemplate taking the job. But, you know, he was just interviewing.
Yeah, you are. Alright, real quick, let me bring back this guy from the intro.
I am a risk taker.
You mean you're a risk taker? You lose $50 a week off parlays. Let's keep it a buck. But there's really 2 types of unemployed people. The ones that gaslight themselves into believing they're onto something.
I'm an entrepreneur. Okay. Do you have any businesses we could be looking?
That's usually a bad, the worst 3 jobs that my friends on dating apps that are streamers, that are like starting out streamers. I'm like, why don't you put that you're a streamer on your dating app? He's like, one of the worst things to say for like relationships when you're trying to appeal to somebody is that you do Twitch streaming, that you're an entrepreneur, or like mention at all that you do sports betting, because those 3 are like frowned upon in like actual job senses. Obviously sports betting should be more for fun than actually trying to make money. Yeah, or crypto. If you say that you're making money from crypto, sports betting, Twitch streaming, or like those things, people usually frown upon it.
Look out for?
No, just not right now.
And 2, the ones that are so far gone, they just fully embrace it and are damn near prideful about it. Okay, let me elaborate. The first type will happen for not wanting a job. Like they'll say, how are you gonna let someone define how much my hour is worth? Just say you lazy rail. Here are some quick signs that you're this person. 1, if you ever refer to the government as Big Brother. 2, if you sign up to online courses instead of getting a job. And 3, if the word matrix just unironically comes out of your mouth. But hey, maybe you got something going on that my mind-controlled slave.
I want to meet someone that bought Andrew Tate's $50 a month Discord. Like, I want to talk to somebody that actually attended Hustlers University and see their actual thoughts.
Okay, and for the second one, these people are just too far gone. Employment is nothing more than a nightmare to these people. The word job gives them physical pain. You tell these people to get a job and they'll have a visceral reaction. Peep the vocab. The only jobs these people want to be associated with involve feet. I gotta apologize to these people though for not involve feet.
Top 5 jobs to get in 2025. Hair jobs.
I gotta apologize to these people though for not censoring the word work and job. I know this is considered a slur for you guys, so my deepest apologies. Oh yeah, and yes, we're gonna ignore my month disappearance. Will it happen?
All right, wait. I need to read what the comments say. When you're unemployed, you want a job. When you got a job, you wish you were unemployed. Unemployment is hell, but working is hell too. I have a few friends that like also try to work the unemployment system, which is, you know, just tough. They'll hold a job, they get, and I think that's like it. Unemployment pay is good and bad, but it's like I've had friends that have held a job for like a year, get fired or quit, and then they get unemployment, and I'm like, are you looking for another job? They're like, no, I'm gonna just live off this for a bit. What do you mean pay? Like they get paid unemployment. Like they make money off of unemployment. The government gives them money because they don't have a job, but it only is for a certain period of time. Unemployment is basically used as a means of like keeping you sustained when you're actively searching for another career, rather than just having to like live off of what your savings are, because most Americans have very little saved.